Hello everyone, Red Palette here. I've been producing and selling my own artwork since 2015, and over the past years, I've been asked more times than I can count, can you teach me how to sell commissions? I have my signature Red Palette way of creating artwork and shipping it to customers. So, to follow through with my promise to a good friend, I'm going to offer a mini tutorial on selling and shipping artwork. Let's start with the most important step, PayPal. Before you do anything, you need to carefully read through PayPal's terms of service. They clearly state at the top that you must be 18 years old to create an account. I know many artists are younger than 18, but would still like to make a profit from their work. At that point, the only thing I can recommend is working with a parent or guardian to set up a payment method. For everyone else, once you've created your PayPal, it's time to price out your work. You need to get your artwork out there. Whether you start with a website like DeviantArt, Amino, or even Instagram, you need a platform to show off your skills. I personally started with Amino and ended up going on to make my own website. It cost me about $12 a month, but it's very worth it. Before we go on to producing our work, we need to talk about shipments. Many artists elect to ship their artwork to customers. There's nothing like having a physical copy or original in hand. This shipping tutorial is going to speak for the United States Postal Service only. Every country's shipping service is different, so be aware. When it comes to shipping artwork on a budget, there's nothing better than a classic stamp. Stamps only work on regular-sized envelopes, including 4.5 by 9.5, 5 by 7, 4 by 6, etc., etc. Stamps are meant only for 1 ounce of shipping, so if your artwork crosses that ounce, you're going to need more postage. I personally use photo mailers that measure at 5.5 by 5.5, which means I'm required to put extra postage due to the envelope's square sizing. For international shipments, I use an international stamp. They cost $1.15 each, plus extra postage for odd sizing. If you're looking to ship with a tracking number, you'll want to speak with the Postal Service to go over your pricing options. Usually, most people favor USPS first-class shipments that start at $2.50. Now, let's talk production. You have 2 paths you can follow, traditional media or digital media. Traditional media includes things like color pencil, Copic markers, acrylic paints, and charcoal. These kinds of media are more delicate and should be shipped with the utmost care. When I ship a traditional drawing, I personally like to laminate the piece to protect it, and to keep it from bending. Plus, it also adds the perk of being a badge that can be attached to a backpack or a lanyard. Laminators can be bought from places like Amazon or Walmart. They are an investment, so you should expect to drop $50 on the starting supplies. I offer shipping options for digital media to be printed and laminated as well. If you opt not to laminate, you need to make sure you include protection in your envelope to ensure the piece doesn't bend in the mail. I'm sure we've all had that experience where a piece of mail gets wrecked on its journey. The best thing you can do is either purchase chipboard or cardstock to cut into envelope-sized pieces to protect your artwork. Once you've determined your shipping options, it's time to figure out pricing. Pricing is an extremely tricky number to come up with. There's no formula or guide to tell you how to price your artwork. Instead, I like to use some factors and go off the numbers I come up with. Let me break it down. You need to determine how much you'll be spending on shipping, laminating, postage, and most importantly, time/skill. Let's say you work at a day job making $10 an hour. If you spend 4 hours on one piece of artwork and sell it at $8, once you take out your material cost, you've made almost no profit. But for many artists, commissions are a hobby rather than a job. I personally undercharge my artwork versus my time because of my lower skill level. Now, it's time to gather your artwork and prepare to ship it. For those who use digital media like myself, you will need to print it. Do not print it on regular old printer paper at your house. Not only does regular printing paper look bad, it's see-through and doesn't hold toner well. Instead, you'll want to make a trip to your local copy and print shop. I personally like FedEx Office because it's closest to my house. You should expect to spend $1 to $2 on a print. It's good practice to put multiple commissions on a page to save money and paper. Make sure you size your image to fit your current envelope. Now it's time to cut our drawing out. Obviously, for complete drawings, you'll print a full page and ship it in a letter size envelope. For smaller drawings, like the ones I'm doing, you will need to cut and laminate it. Don't be sloppy and take your time rounding the edges. For a personal touch, I like to take a complimentary colored construction paper and put it behind the cutout. Now it's time to laminate. Make sure you're using the correct millimeter for your heat settings. I like 5mm because it's thicker and doesn't bend as easily as 3mm. You will gently guide your lamination through the laminator, making sure you put the sealed side in first. Now cut your lamination, and it's ready for shipment. I personally believe it's good practice to write a handwritten note to your customer. Adding a touch of personalization can go a long way. I also like to add a business card, but it's not necessary. Now, we seal it up and write the address on our envelope. This info can be found in our PayPal or by messaging the client. Ship it off, and you are done. Good job! I hope this helps some first-time commission artists get their start. I know I didn't cover everything in the commission game, so if you have further questions, I'll do my best to answer them in the comment section. Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, I'd appreciate a like and a sub. And of course, I'll link my art page in the description for those interested. Take care everyone, and I'll see you next time.